All right, let's get started. Good evening. My name is Nigeria Chambers. I'm from Big O Belt Media. Jake, thank you for the time today about your new film Ride coming to theaters June 14th. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I like your setup. You got like a whole man cave thing going on.
I do. First of all, I just want to say congratulations on the success of the film so far. Seeing that this had won awards already, targeting the Dallas International Film Festival. So sort of expected this to be a good one, and indeed it was. And before I actually get into the film, I just want to ask you because I checked out one of your other previous films, which you have a writing credit on, is No Man's Land. So I want to ask you just about the aesthetic of the film. What is it about this aesthetic that you enjoy writing in, and what does it mean to you personally? Why you dive so much into it, and obviously now having your directorial debut means that this is a special one.
Yeah, I get emotional just looking at cowboy hats. It's weird. I'll fully admit it. And telling stories about the men and women kind of under or behind these cowboy hats. And, grew up in Texas, so obviously I was kind of around that culture. But in particular, I was most interested in how they were portrayed on screen. And I always wanted to dig past the archetype of the strong silent man, the Clint Eastwood characters of years past, and see the pun intended, to see the good, the bad, and the ugly within all these men and women, and in particularly in the modern space. My interest, like you said, with No Man's Land, telling a border film, a modern day border film, and this movie telling a modern day, rodeo crime story. I've always been most interested in what's the cowboy up to right now? What are the problems he's facing right now, and how is he handling those problems?
Yeah. Hey, I know. Thank you for the time today. I need to be in contact with, I don't know, your management, your production team, whatever, because I'm gonna tell you right now that I need more from the Hawkins family. We're shooting a gun
Okay.
here. I just want to quickly ask you, is there plans to expand this at all? Because the film leaves us on edge. And of course,
Right.
we want to know what's next. Obviously, this chemistry between this family, this camaraderie amongst this family still has so much more to be explored. So just thinking beyond just right now. Is there plans to expand this at all?
Yeah. First off, I'm getting like tingles just the fact that you said that, because I just appreciate hearing that so much. That it hit you in that way, that made you want more. I think whenever you can write a story about an interesting family, if you can ever have those family dynamics, because families never end, they're always evolving, the ups and downs. I think that's why, with this movie more than others that I've done, people have, because other people have mentioned that too, is their plans for more. I would love to do a sequel. Um, and I love Peter Hawkins, the character that I played. I love his his good side, his bad side. I think he stands for something so prevalent in America right now. And when I say stand for something, I don't necessarily mean that as in he's a hero or something like that. But he just stands for a lot of things
Yeah.
happening in the world. And I would love to explore more of the story and give more. I would love to dive deeper into, Annabeth Gish plays the sheriff in the film, and my mom and I played this kind of, addicted, or an addict, I should say, who just
Yeah.
gotten out of prison and is trying to get his shit together, and, ends up being a criminal within the first 2 weeks of being out. And his mother is all of a sudden faced with, trying to solve a case that is leading her directly to her husband and her son. And that's something that I feel like could be explored more, which is like, what's life like for a mother sheriff with a son who is an addict and a criminal ultimately, but very infused. He's a criminal because he's an addict. He's an addict because he's a criminal. And it's this vicious cycle that happens with that world. And rodeo, man. I mean, the things I've seen at rodeos and with cowboys and stuff. This could go on, indefinitely. And like I said, I love the cowboy hat so much.
Yeah.
I would have no problem just being like, I'm going to be the ride guy for the next 10 years. I'd be pretty happy doing it.
I love how you explain the film and definitely a huge shout out to Annabeth because she's fantastic at this. But then you got two other legends on it that brings another entire element to the film. And that's one being C. Thomas Howell, who plays John, and then you have Corey J. Smith as listen here. Now, sir, most people when they have the directorial debut, they kind of climb out of the gate a little bit. But it seems like you got this thing where you like to swing for the fences and of course without a doubt, not just a home run, but a grand slam. Listen, having all of them, and that's just a couple of the folks I named, having this
Yeah.
stellar cast here for your directorial debut. Talk about that moment when you pinch yourself and realize, like, damn, I did this.
Uh, oh man. Well, first off, I can say that as a first-time director, the smartest thing I ever did was cast great actors because they just made me look good. Um, Pinching myself, oh man, there was a lot of pinchable moments. There was something special about when we shot at a live rodeo our last couple days of filming, and there was something pretty crazy about, I'm in my whole rodeo gear. I'm in the chaps, I'm in the spurs, I'm in my cowboy hat, I got my rope over my shoulder, and I got my headphones on directing, and we had the whole cast there, 5,000 people. We've got 4 minutes to go shoot this scene in between rides, no time for rehearsal. But to be so, to be honest, I was very calm because I had all these amazing people around me. I constantly say, I felt like I had a force field around me
Mm,
that whole film. And whenever bad weather, change of schedule, whatever was coming my way, every movie's going to face problems, period. That it's how you react to those problems that is usually the difference between a bad movie, a good movie, and a great movie. And I totally felt like I just had this force field around me of all these different people that supported me, and also pushed me to be better. I mean, I think the best thing that Annabeth, Tommy, and Forey did was come in and not just say, "Yeah, we're great. We know what we're doing. I know how to do these lines. I know how to do this scene. Whatever. Let's just bang it out and go home." It was like, no, no, no. How can we make this thing that we already think is great? How can we make it 1% better? And when you're
mm.
in the world, when you get people that are interested in doing whatever they can to make something 1% better, man, that's the good stuff right there.
Let me sneak in these last two questions really quickly. And
Yeah.
actually, this one's not even a question. This is a note because with a film focused around family, I noticed something. You have a very distinct last name. Is it true that you have some of your family members as well as involved as producers on this?
Yes. Yeah. My brother produced the film along with my dad, and we've made a couple movies together. It is definitely the family business. I grew up, my dad was a writer, so writing is kind of the cornerstone of anything that we do. My brother has directed me in two movies, and I wrote one that he directed, No Man's Land. And so they were just there to support me. I mean, the more hats that they saw me putting on for this movie, the more they were like, we want to come and we want to be a part of it. And they weren't there to steal my moment or anything.
Yeah.
Again, back to that force field where I just had so many just powerful people to my right and left, just fighting off all the enemies that come with an indie movie.
Yeah, because with the theme of the film really just being truly about how far a family is willing to go for each other, it's a beautiful theme, and obviously being a part of your family's films and them being a part of your film, it's sort of the essence of why the film is what it is and why it's good and why the other films are good as well too.
Thank you.
My final question for you, because folks know I love talking about music. Listen here,
Uh,
sir. The soundtrack and the score, first of all, shout out to Those Who Ride with Giants and Bones Owen. They elevate these moments in a way
yeah.
that gives me chills. Talk about having them a part of the project and what was sort of the discussions in terms of creative, in terms of when you wanted to have them piped in.
Okay, I can talk about this for like 4 hours. So you'll have to stop the interview. Those people were so integral to the movie. I can't even kind of begin to explain how important they were. And I think the most beautiful part was that they came on, usually music comes after the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe you know who your composer is. Maybe you know a song that you're going to try and license, but you don't know. And then you get into post-production and you figure it out. This movie was the opposite. I had Those Who Ride with Giants, our composer on the film. I sent them the script like 2 months before we started shooting. And I just said, start making music. I just want you to read the script. Let's talk about it. I'll show you some pictures and aesthetic things of how it's going to look and feel. But I don't want you to be watching the movie trying to pick when you're going to make the little sounds based on a cut. I want you to go and enjoy your creative process and send me the music that you make, that you're feeling in your heart when you read this, and I'll find the places for it in the film. And that evolved our edit to where it created these moments where I'm going, well, that shot works with this piece that he wrote, and all of a sudden we've got this brand new scene that didn't even exist before. And then Bones, man, he's my favorite artist. Have your favorite artist agree to do 4 songs, including an original for your first, like you said about your first film. I'm just so blessed to have that guy, want to be the voice for this movie.
Yeah.
And I told him, because I pitched him like 4 times. I think he probably just got tired of me. I was like, fine, I'll do it. But I said, man, the main character in this movie isn't the family. It isn't my character. It isn't C. Thomas. It's the world. It is the world of Stephenville, Texas, in this cowboy community that's barely hanging on. And I need you to be, you are the character, you are the main character's dialogue. You are
Mm.
the world's voice. I need that voice to be strong. And so we got him. And again, the beautiful part about that is we could play his music on set during the scenes. Like the scene when Annabeth's character is walking through the crime scene, kind of
Yeah.
putting things together in her head of what's really happened here. And we play one of Bones Owens' songs called Mama. This like beautiful, haunting, but also like electric rock and roll thing. And we played it on set as she walked through the entire house. And that, again, that, by the way, was a pinchable moment because I was like, proudly, I was like, I'm playing this shit. I did, and it was just like perfectly like organized chaos, to where it was super planned. We knew it was going to be that song, but at the same time, how many movies give an actor the space to walk through like 4 or 5 different rooms? Usually, you go into one room, you do a shot. You go to another room, do a shot. It's just, boring to be honest. And we were just, again, I'd rather swing for the fences and miss than do a bunt for my first movie. What's the point? So yeah, the music was so, and Lacey K. Booth, the girl who plays the young musician in the movie, who, has that great scene when she's singing at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
That girl, again, I saw her on American Idol and just like immediately, basically harassed her until she agreed to do the movie. Very politely.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, just the amount of great people that came to play was just amazing.
Congratulations, my guy. Listen, if it's one thing I know now, if you see the Allyn name on the film, you better check it out. And after checking out Rod, it is without a doubt a must watch. Jake, thank you so much for your time today. And folks, you can check out Rod coming to theaters June 14th. I appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you, man. That was great.
Absolutely.
I